Welcome to Art Ed Radio, the podcast for art teachers. This show is produced by the Art of Education, and I'm your host, Tim Bogatz. I'm hoping that you are listening to this episode in a summertime that is treating you well. And we are going to talk a lot today about how we make the most of our summer. My guest today is going to be Jessica Stuver. Jess has been on the show before. I always love having her. She has some very, very good ideas, does some very, very cool things in her classroom. She's presented at the last couple of Art Ed Now conferences, and we're really excited to have her back for the next conference at the end of July and beginning of August. She's going to be presenting on art room transformations, one of the really cool things that she does in her room, and I'll let her talk about that. But we are also going to talk about all things summertime and how we make the most of it. And talk about what it's like and how we are feeling as we reach the end of the school year, how we kind of decompress after that, and how you can give yourself some permission to actually rest. And then once you are rest and recharge, like, how do you make the most of your time off? How do you put together a summer that works for you? I think that's really difficult for a lot of teachers, not only the decompression part, but also the stepping away from school and mentally giving yourself a break and looking for other opportunities to do things that are not school related. So I think Jess has a lot of really good ideas, a lot of good wisdom and experience, and can speak to some cool things that we can all do, and speak to some experiences that I think will be good for all of us to hear about. So let me go ahead and bring her on now. Hey, Jessica Stuver is here with me. Jessica, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Excited to chat with you. Excited to talk about all things summer. So I guess first, welcome back to the show. And second, how did the end of the school year go for you?
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here again. It's always an honor. The end of the school year, isn't May or whatever your last month of school is. May is just, it's a marathon. It's like all
Yes.
the events and the special schedules. The great weather is teasing us and the kids are super excited. But honestly, I felt so great at the end of this school year. One of my coworkers and I were talking, and we were both just saying like that went really well. And I was thinking about it, and I told her, so that was the end of my 15th year of teaching, which I don't know where that time went. I really don't feel like that was my 15th year of teaching. But at the same time, looking back, I was like, I felt the experience and the comfort and the routines, and I just felt like on.
Yeah.
Which was such a refreshing feeling. But I also got a chance to do some new projects I had been really excited about and try some new things out. And like, they all went well. I was genuinely waiting for the other shoe to drop at all points in time, but I was really happy with how it went. So I felt really good, still ready for summer.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
No, that's such a great feeling when you feel like you're in the flow, for lack of a better term, and like things are going well. So I want to ask you though, like, even though you're feeling good at the end of the year and your projects go well, when you get to the end of the school year, are you still exhausted?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm on a group text with some of my closest coworkers, and the day after the last day of school, like, one of my coworkers said, I slept for 11 hours last night. And like,
Right.
I slept for 9. And for someone who just regularly has trouble sleeping, like, that was huge.
Yes. Oh, I don't know. Just like there's there's no tired like teacher tired. Like it's bad. And when you get to the end of the year, that can be a lot. But
Yeah.
on a more positive note, let's chat about the summertime. So,
Yeah.
well, like, do you have any good summer plans? Like, what do you usually do in the summertime?
So I feel like my like usual summer plans come down to I do so much reading. I love
Mm,
reading so much. My parents were both English teachers, so there was really
okay.
no hope for me in that regard. But I'm 2 weeks into my break. I think I have finished 8 books so far.
That's
That's
amazing.
I love reading so much. But I love spending time outside. I have a vegetable garden that I spend a lot of time in, a pollinator garden that I love
Love it.
tending to. Yeah, and even just sitting outside, like a literal and metaphorical breath of fresh air, listening to the
Yes.
birds.
Yes.
My husband and I also, so we live in Cleveland, Ohio, so we're very close to Lake Erie. We
Okay. Yep.
have kayaks, and kayaking on Lake Erie or any of the rivers or surrounding areas is one of our favorite things to do. I find that to be very relaxing. I think I have told people I'm not a big beach person, but I
Hmm.
love being literally on the water.
Yeah. Okay.
It's super relaxing. So, yeah, that's one of our favorite warm weather activities. As for specific plans this summer, one of my biggest tasks is working with our dog. We got a puppy in April. She's about
Oh,
8 months.
congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. She's about 8 months old, so I just really decided that focusing on her training and getting her in really good shape for when I go back to school in the fall is gonna be one of my biggest tasks, but it's also
Yeah.
just it's so fun taking her outside and playing with her.
Yes.
And then we have one trip planned this summer. We're going camping in Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. We got a cabin. We love just going off the grid for a couple days, being in nature, enjoying some of that time, and checking another national park off the list.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
As you were talking, I was just making the connection in my head of like puppy training versus classroom management. And really like if you set things up at the beginning really well, spend a lot of time when you're first with them, then like it pays off for the rest of the time. And
It
so
really does. I do feel really lucky. She's super smart. She's a fast learner. We
love it.
had put like the training bells on our back door that they ring when they
Oh
want to go
yeah.
outside. It was 24 hours before she rang them for the first time.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was shocked. My husband and I were just sitting there watching TV. The bells rang, and we looked at each other as though we had seen a ghost, or apparently a ghost had rang bells in our house. Like, no way. Already?
I love it. That's awesome.
She's a good girl.
Um, Now, let me ask you, because I think this applies to a lot of teachers. Do you feel like there's pressure to have fun during the summertime or to have like a productive summertime? And I guess like how do you make the most of your time away from school? Or on the flip side, if you're not making the most of that, if you're just relaxing, just taking that time to yourself, how do you avoid FOMO? How do you avoid that fear of missing out on things?
As for the FOMO, I can jokingly say that, like, as an introvert, I don't have that. I would rather just
Fine.
be home
Yep.
anyway. No, but honestly, I feel like in the past few years, I really noticed that how my school year goes dictates how my summer is going to go.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I think maybe 4 years ago, I was uh, super burned out at the end of the school year. Like a ton of things felt like they went wrong or got delayed, and it was no one's fault. It was just how it went. So that summer, I was like, I need time to recover. I did not do anything for school, and I went back into that school year feeling very refreshed. I feel like this year, I felt good at the end of the school year. So I definitely want to do the relaxing and tend to things around the house that maybe I don't get to during the school year. But I'm not going to stop myself if I have an idea that I want to research for the school year. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to see that through, especially if it makes part of your school year easier. I'm I'm going to do it for sure. But in this profession, this is a mentally and physically draining profession. And summer should be restorative, whatever that means for the individual teacher.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking that because I'm wondering if I maybe framed this question wrong because like when you say we're making the most of our summer, you
Mhm.
really need to do what's best for you, and maybe making the most of your summer is just not doing anything. Taking that time away from school, taking that time for yourself, being restorative, and I think that's a really good point. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. It was just that I was
No.
thinking that like doing nothing is 100% okay as well.
I tend to be one of those people who's go, 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 and my husband is one of those people who's like, "Please just rest." And he
Yes.
he does have to remind me all the time that rest is restorative, and I think
Mhm.
over the years, that's something I've gotten better at, definitely. But whatever's gonna put you in a good frame of mind and ready to go when you get back to the school year, whether that is working on a project or unit that you've kind of just been dreaming about, and you finally have the time to commit to planning it, or whether that is just hanging out for the summer, like,
Yeah.
do it. Definitely. Even though I joked about the FOMO, I think one of the things that I always try to do over the summer is say yes to something that I wouldn't normally be able to do during the school year,
Oh,
or that
yeah,
is
yeah, I
just
like
harder to do during the school year. So, I was browsing concerts coming up in our area and I was like, "Oh, one of our bands is coming. It's on a Sunday. Let's go." Like during the school year,
I was gonna
I
say
would've been
it's
like,
not a school night.
"Oh," I know, I would have really, like, labored over it, and if I went, I probably would just, like, kind of be mad at myself a little bit the next day, but
Yeah,
so grateful.
yep.
So, whether it's, like, saying yes to an afternoon baseball game or a weekday concert or something that, again, not saying you can't do it during the school year, but that it's just harder during the school year.
Mhm.
I don't need a ton of experiences like that. I'm also not looking to pack my summer schedule. I just saying yes to a few of those experiences, I think makes it feel like I have used my time off well.
I like it, yeah. I think that's a really good perspective. I think that's a good way to think about things. Now, one of the big things for my summer every year is the Art Ed Now conference. I know you've been going for a long time
Yes.
as an attendee, and now you presented last time, presenting again. So,
Mhm.
just thinking about the conference, what do you enjoy about being at the conference? What do you usually take away from the conference experience?
Oh, yeah. I'm such a fan of the Now conference, honestly. I
I love
was
hearing that. Thank you.
absolutely. I was looking back through, my sketchbooks, notebooks that I take notes in, and my first one's from 2015.
Wow, I
So
don't even know if I was hosting back then. That was
I
so
don't
long ago.
I know, I was thinking about that, but needless to say, I've been going for a long time, on and
Yeah.
off, and it really is a highlight of my professional year, genuinely, and there's something about the summer one in particular that just gets me excited for the school year to come, like, gets me inspired, but I enjoy so many things about the conference. I think there are 3 big ones, 3
Oh,
big reasons. So the first one is just the ease of attendance,
mhm.
not having to travel. Traveling's great, but not having to travel, you can enjoy this from the comfort of your own home, wearing whatever it is that you wanna wear, but also with the ability to revisit certain presentations and ideas throughout the course of the year with the AfterPass is an incredible privilege. The second, I think, is just a sense of community. The fact that
Yes.
it's huge. The fact that you can converse with other people and engage with the presenters throughout the course of the conference is great. But I will also say the past couple of years, being able to move that conversation from the conference to the Art of Ed community and
Mhm.
extend that conversation has been such a privilege. It really, really has been. But lastly, and I think probably most importantly, is just the inspiration. Every time I attend, I definitely walk away with concrete ideas that I can use in my classroom, but it's also just that feeling that you get from it, being surrounded by other people who really love this crazy profession that we're all engaged in. And that sense of inspiration, like I said, especially for the summer conference, it always ramps up my excitement for the coming school year, really gets me thinking about things I want to accomplish that school year. So I'm a big fan.
I love it. No, I love hearing all of that. I also love that you were just such a natural teacher that you're like, let me break this down into my 3 points. And I have
I get that from my mom. We love a list growing up to be like, so A, B.
that's incredible. Okay, so I also want to ask you about your presentation specifically. I think people are going to really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. What can people expect from your presentation? Like, what can they look forward to?
I'm laughing now, and I hope for people who see the presentation, it'll make sense why I'm laughing a little bit right now. So my presentation is called Creative Transformations, Making Learning Come Alive. So what it's about is using props, costumes, and classroom decorations to enhance your students' learning and make some really memorable, immersive experiences. I really did have a lot of fun creating this presentation. I've done about a dozen full classroom transformations over the years where like I've dressed up my classroom and then like teach in a theme. And
Can you give us a couple examples?
I do. So the presentation includes some of my favorite examples from over the years, the benefits of doing this with your students, but then also just the practicalities of how to go about planning and actually executing one of these transformations. There are a lot of teachers out there who do amazing classroom transformations. Like, I am not the person who came up with this. What I do think I can show specifically is how art teachers can do it, because we teach either so many students or so many different media. And I feel like most of the examples of classroom transformations we're seeing is like a self-contained homeroom, which is amazing. But they're teaching the same kids all day.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about, well, I'm going to go from 7th grade to 1st grade to 2nd to 4th.
Right.
Like, how do I plan for that? And that's what I'm planning for. And I know that's what others are planning for in many circumstances too. So yeah, my hope is providing others with how to create a great transformation as an art teacher specifically, who very does likely teach a wide range of students, learners, materials, what have you. So I hope you can expect some fun and some whimsy and a lot of costume changes.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be really exciting because I remember you first pitched this idea to me and I was like, I don't know that much about this because I'm very much in the secondary level where we would not be doing these things too often. But then when I looked into it, I was like, oh, this is actually so much fun. And so I'm really excited for your presentation. I think people are going to love it. I think they'll love the costumes, the transformations, and all of that. So it's definitely something to look forward to. So
I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. And then just before we go, you talked about your love of books. Do you have any good book recommendations for people who are looking for something to read over the summer? Sorry to put you on the spot here.
Oh my gosh. No, absolutely. In fact, as we're talking, I'm like literally going to pull up my Goodreads really quick. While I do that, one of the books that I read recently that I did think was outstanding because it was so unique was The Calamity Club by Catherine Stockett. She wrote The Help, which was a huge book like some years ago.
Yep.
So this is only her second book. Like it's years after the fact, but that one was really unique, I thought, and really well worth it. My mom and I both really enjoyed that one. I also read a book called This Book Made Me Think of You. The author's name is escaping me at the moment, but that was like an unexpected, like feel good. I cried multiple times. That's not surprising. Okay. It's not difficult for me to do that, but that was beautiful. The author is Libby Page. Okay. I thought that one was wonderful. And if you want a book that kind of challenges you a little bit, Where the Wildflowers Grow by Tara Shelton Harris was a thing of beauty. It really was.
Right. Love it.
Listen, there are some things I could talk about books. I can talk about dogs. I can talk about what we're making for dinner all day.
All right, here, I will put this out there. If anybody needs more book recommendations beyond those 3, just find Jess on Instagram and then they can message you and you can just talk books.
Yes, find me on Instagram. Find me in the community, in the Art of Ed community. We can chat books. all summer. One of my favorite topics.
Sounds great. Jessica, thank you so much for coming on. Thanks for your time. And we will look forward to seeing you at the conference next month.
Thanks for having me, Tim. I appreciate it.
Thank you again to Jess for coming on. So much great advice there. I really appreciated what she had to say about summertime, making it a mixture of fun and productivity. And I think she had some great advice when she talked about, in our profession, in the teaching profession, summer just needs to be restorative, and that's going to look different for everybody. Okay? Some people need rest. Some people need relaxation. Some people need new creative inputs and new creative outputs. And, just thinking about what's going to put you in a good place once the next school year rolls around. So having all of that advice, I think, is really worthwhile, and I'm glad she was here to share that. It's an honest perspective. It's a grounded perspective about what it means to be an art teacher. And I think just giving yourself that permission to enjoy the summer, I think that's a message that a lot of us need to hear. And of course, I'm really looking forward to Jess's presentation at the Art Ed Now conference. She is doing, like she said, the creative transformation sessions. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be useful, and we're excited to have her there for that. And if you are not familiar with the Art Ed Now conference, we would love for you to come. We would love for you to sign up. It's not your typical PD. It's a fun and exciting conference. It's 3 days of creative and hopefully meaningful learning that is specifically made for art teachers. The first day, we have the kickoff with live art making and games, a ton of giveaways. Day 2 is the main event with all of these incredible sessions from practicing art teachers and artists who understand the classroom. And then day 3 is the afterpass, which helps you reflect and process, make plans for the future, and you have access to everything from the conference as part of the afterpass for the full year. So come for any or all of those 3 days, and you will leave with some energy and some inspiration and hopefully some readiness for the next school year. So we would love to have you join us at the next Art Ed Now conference, July 31st, August 1st, and August 2nd. You can find all the details you need, and you can register at theartofeducation.edu/now. But that will do it for the podcast today. Once again, thank you to Jessica Stuver for coming on, for sharing all of her expertise, all of her advice, and hopefully you heard something today that can help you make the most of your summer and hopefully help you get to a great place before the next school year starts. We are so glad you joined us for today's episode, and we hope it was helpful for you. If you know someone else who might be helped with the information in this show, we would love for you to share it with them. We also appreciate all the ratings and reviews that listeners leave for us, so if you have a few seconds to give us a 5-star rating or even leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen, we would love to see it. Thank you again for listening, and we will see you next week.